Could this be Chelsea's perfect summer transfer solution? Picture this: Chelsea need to bring in fresh talent while also clearing out players who aren't in the manager's plans. What if there was a way to kill two birds with one stone? Well, that dream scenario might just be unfolding right before our eyes. The latest transfer buzz around Stamford Bridge has got everyone talking. Xavi Simons, the Dutch wonderkid currently at RB Leipzig, could be heading to West London. But here's the twist: Chelsea might not need to break the bank to get him. Instead, a player swap involving CHUKUAMIKA could be the key that unlocks this entire deal. Who is Xavi Simons and why do Chelsea want him? Before we dive into the transfer drama, let's talk about why Xavi Simons has become such a hot property in European football. The 22-year-old attacking midfielder has been turning heads with his performances for both club and country. Simons started his career at Barcelona's famous La Masia Academy before moving to Paris Saint-Germain. However, it was his loan spells, particularly at PSV Eindhoven and now RB Leipzig, where he really found his feet. Last season alone, he managed to score 10 goals and provide 15 assists across all competitions for Leipzig. What makes Simons so special? His ability to create chances out of nothing is remarkable. He can play anywhere across the attacking midfield line, has excellent dribbling skills, and possesses a wand of a left foot. The kind of player who can change a game in an instant. For Chelsea, who have been looking to add more creativity to their midfield, Simons represents exactly what they need. His age fits perfectly with the club's strategy of building for the future while being ready to contribute immediately. But here's the big question: how much would it cost to bring him to Stamford Bridge? The price tag that made Chelsea think twice. RB Leipzig aren't going to let their star player go cheaply. Reports suggest they want somewhere between 65 to 70 million euros for Simons. That's roughly £60 million, a significant chunk of change even for a club like Chelsea. Now, Chelsea have spent big in recent transfer windows, but they're also trying to be smarter about their spending. The financial fair play rules mean they can't just throw money around like they used to. They need to balance the books, which means selling players to buy new ones. This is where things get interesting. What if Chelsea could reduce that price tag by offering a player Leipzig actually want? Enter CHUKUAMIKA. The CHUKUAMIKA situation. CHUKUAMIKA's time at Chelsea hasn't gone according to plan. The young midfielder arrived with high hopes after impressing at Aston Villa, but has struggled to find his place in the team. Last season, he was sent out on loan to Borussia Dortmund, where he showed glimpses of his potential but didn't quite set the world alight. Now, with Chelsea looking to trim their squad and CHUKUAMIKA not featuring in the manager's immediate plans, a permanent move seems inevitable. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While Dortmund were initially interested in keeping him, their negotiations with Chelsea have hit a wall. Chelsea want to sell him outright rather than loan him out again, and it seems Dortmund aren't willing to meet their asking price. Step forward RB Leipzig. Why Leipzig want CHUKUAMIKA? RB Leipzig have built their reputation on developing young talent and turning them into top-class players. Their interest in CHUKUAMIKA makes perfect sense when you look at their track record. The German club sees potential in the English midfielder that perhaps hasn't been fully realized yet. At 20 years old, CHUKUAMIKA still has his best years ahead of him. His physical attributes, combined with his technical ability, make him an attractive prospect for Leipzig's style of play. For Leipzig, signing CHUKUAMIKA would be relatively low risk, high reward. They get a young player with Premier League experience who could develop into something special under their guidance. But the real genius of this potential deal lies in how it could benefit both clubs. The perfect storm for a swap deal. Here's where things get really exciting for Chelsea fans. Leipzig want CHUKUAMIKA, and Chelsea want Simons. Both clubs need to make deals happen, and both have something the other wants. A straight swap seems unlikely given the difference in valuations, but a deal involving CHUKUAMIKA plus cash could work perfectly for everyone involved. Let's break down the numbers. If CHUKUAMIKA is valued at around £25 to £30 million, that would significantly reduce what Chelsea need to pay for Simons. Instead of paying the full £60 million, they might only need to add £30 to £35 million plus CHUKUAMIKA to get their man. For Leipzig, they get a promising young midfielder they actually want rather than having to scout for alternatives with the Simons money. For Chelsea, they solve two problems at once, bringing in a key target while moving on a player who wasn't in their plans. It's the kind of deal that makes sense for everyone involved. But will it actually happen? What are the challenges? Of course, it's never quite that simple in the world of football transfers. There are several hurdles that need to be cleared before this deal can become reality. First, CHUKUAMIKA himself needs to agree to join Leipzig. While the club's reputation for developing young players is excellent, the player might have other ideas about his future. Does he want to try his luck in the Bundesliga, or would he prefer to stay in England or move elsewhere? Second, the clubs need to agree on valuations. Chelsea will want to maximize what they get for CHUKUAMIKA, while Leipzig will want to minimize what they pay. Finding that sweet spot where both sides feel they're getting good value isn't always easy. Third, there's the matter of personal terms. Even if the clubs agree on a deal structure, both players need to be happy with their contracts at their new clubs. Wages, bonuses, contract length, all of these details need to be hammered out. Finally, there's competition. Other clubs might swoop in for either player if they sense an opportunity. In football, deals can collapse at the last minute when a bigger offer comes in from elsewhere. Recent developments that give hope. Despite these challenges, recent reports suggest that things are moving in the right direction. According to reliable sources, talks between Chelsea and Leipzig are set to intensify, with both clubs eager to get deals done. The fact that Dortmund's move for CHUKUAMIKA has stalled actually works in Chelsea's favor. It means Leipzig can step in without having to compete with another German club for the player. Meanwhile, Simons himself is reportedly open to a move to the Premier League. The chance to play for a club like Chelsea, with all the opportunities that brings, is clearly appealing to the young Dutchman. Chelsea's urgency to get deals done also works in their favor. With about 6 weeks left in the transfer window, they know they need to move quickly if they want to complete their business. What this means for Chelsea's season. If Chelsea can pull off this deal, it could be a game changer for their upcoming season. Simons would add a different dimension to their attack, providing the kind of creativity and flair that can unlock tight defenses. His versatility would also give the manager more tactical options. Whether playing as a traditional number 10, out wide, or even in a deeper midfield role, Simons has the skills to adapt to different systems. More importantly, his age profile fits perfectly with Chelsea's long-term planning. At 22, he's young enough to improve further but experienced enough to contribute immediately. The kind of signing that makes sense both now and for the future. The broader transfer picture. This potential deal is just one part of Chelsea's busy summer. The club is also working on other moves, including trying to sort out João Felix's situation with Benfica and Renato Vega's potential move to Atletico Madrid. What the Simons CHUKUAMIKA situation shows is how modern transfer dealings have become increasingly complex. It's not just about buying and selling individual players anymore, it's about finding creative solutions that work for multiple parties. For Chelsea, who have been criticized for their scattergun approach to transfers in recent windows, this kind of strategic thinking represents a more mature approach to squad building. Questions that still need answers. As we wait to see how this situation develops, several questions remain unanswered. Will CHUKUAMIKA be happy to make the move to Germany? His development is crucial at this stage of his career, and he needs to pick the right club that will give him the playing time and coaching he needs to reach his potential. Can Chelsea and Leipzig find a fair valuation for both players? Transfer negotiations are often more about egos than actual values, and both clubs will want to feel they've gotten the better end of the deal. Are there other clubs waiting in the wings? In today's transfer market, deals can change direction quickly if a bigger offer or more attractive opportunity emerges. How quickly can this all be resolved? With the season starting soon, both players need clarity about their futures so they can focus on football rather than transfer speculation. What Chelsea fans should expect. For Chelsea supporters eagerly following this saga, patience might be required. These kinds of complex deals take time to structure properly, and there will likely be plenty of back and forth before anything is finalized. However, the signs are encouraging. Both clubs appear motivated to do business, both players seem open to their respective moves, and the logic of the deal makes sense for everyone involved. If it does come off, Chelsea fans should be excited about what Simons could bring to the team. His highlight reels from Leipzig show a player with genuine star quality, the kind of signing that gets supporters off their seats. The bottom line. Football transfers are never straightforward, but this potential swap between Chelsea and Leipzig has all the ingredients of a deal that could work for everyone. Chelsea get a talented young attacking midfielder who could be the missing piece in their squad. Leipzig get a promising young player they genuinely want rather than having to start their search from scratch. Both players get fresh starts at clubs that value their potential. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining whether this transfers from speculation to reality. But for now, Chelsea fans have every reason to be optimistic about adding one of Europe's most exciting young talents to their squad. As the transfer window enters its final phase, deals like this remind us why this period is so captivating for football fans. It's not just about the money or the headlines, it's about finding the right pieces to complete the puzzle. And for Chelsea, Xavi Simons might just be the perfect piece they've been looking for. The question now isn't whether this deal makes sense, it clearly does. The question is whether all parties can overcome the inevitable challenges that come with any major transfer and get it over the line. One thing's for certain, if Chelsea can pull this off, it will go down as one of the smartest pieces of business they've done in recent years. Sometimes in football, the stars align perfectly. For Chelsea in their pursuit of Xavi Simons, this might just be one of those times.